Hi, it's Mr. Lewis here, or Greg Lewis for you parent types. I just want to walk you through the Weebly class or course website. And the first thing that you're going to see is this box, which should say this area is password protected. And what we're going to do here is enter the password. You'll see that it is in text beside this box, just letting you know what that is. Once you've entered that, you're going to click Login, and this is what you should see. This is our home page, and read this at your leisure. The website is organized in various tabs, and each tab has a drop-down menu with other pages attached. Probably the one that you're going to access the most is the artifacts or self-reflections, and this is where all the projects for the course are housed, generally in the order that we do them. And so let's take something like the First Nations diorama project, and if I click on that, you will see an image. This was done by Emma Stathers. Excellent project. I have her permission to use this. And as you scroll down here, you'll see that there are various titles and then a document. And in this case, we have the First Nations Diorama Project Part 1, create a full environment in 3D. And if I click on this, you'll see that it's hyperlinked to a PDF document. And it shows you what the project is about. Now this is a fairly general overview. And if you look at other parts of this page, you'll see that there's the First Nations Diorama Project Part 2, the Venn diagram. We have a planning sheet, and this is really important. A lot of students tend to do the project and they don't really think about ahead of time what it is that they're going to do before they start building on the diorama. If you don't do this piece first, generally you end up making something that you think is cool but doesn't fulfill the rubric, and you end up getting a poor mark. Even though it may look really great, you've used good materials, but it really doesn't supply the necessary content or information that I'm looking for, and that's why we're doing this project. So it's important for students to go through that before they start actually building or making. The other thing, of course, is it'll tell you, and you'll see down here, supplies needed to use in the diorama. If you are going to make an igloo, for instance, you would want to think about what materials it is you want to build it with. Could be sugar cubes, could be foam, could be a variety of things. Maybe it's paper mache, and then you use a marker to mark on sort of the cubes. But you have to sort of think about that before you get going. This is a self-assessment checklist. Did you check all of these off prior to handing it in to me? And it's a little bit in depth, but you know what? At the end of the day, if you pay on the front end, you'll get a really good mark on the back end. And when it comes to me, the teacher, assessing it and seeing, hey, they did this. I'm actually going to make this part of the process, and if you don't hand this in, you lose marks. And that's because I'm really trying to encourage you to come up with something good that you're going to be proud of, that you'll want to list on your e-portfolio later on. Over here, there are some self-reflection questions to be answered. And these are pretty straightforward. You answer them in your own way. These, generally speaking, these types of self-reflection questions are required for almost every project, and when you create your own e-portfolio, you need to include them in some shape or form. Some people take a digital photo of something they've written out. Other people insert a file. Other people link to a screenshot the way I have. And then finally over here we have the rubrics or the mark sheet. And again, it's fairly straightforward. I've given you some questions to ponder ahead of time, trying to push you in the right direction. You'll see down here, was it saved and uploaded to Weebly? And did you do your self-reflection? Generally speaking, I hold off on the 5 marks until I see that. So even if you got everything here perfect, you'll get 35 out of 40 until I see it on your website. That's just one of the projects that we do, but most of them are created along the same lines. Over here we have some student work showing examples or exemplars of good work that's been done in the past. I have permission from all these folks. Miss Beck, a student teacher of mine who's done some really excellent work. Some of her work is seen here. And this is a game called Civilization 4, which we will use a little bit in the course. And it talks about that. I think that's all I want to say for now. This is just a short introduction to our Weebly site. If you're ever wondering about a project or what it is that's required or anything like that, you can email me, but really I'm going to say to you, come to the site and have a look. And seriously, that's what I'm going to say. Okay? So the address is up here. It's greglewis9.weebly.com, and then the password is what we discussed at the start of this. Thanks very much.